That's not easy because, you know, people got their own egos, they got their own intentions and things like that, and everybody want to be pat on the back that they got this regurgitation research information that they have found, because nobody is older than the planet Earth that has been on this program. Nobody's not even older than 100 years of age. There's only one gentleman on there that was 105 years old. Nobody's been on there older than he is. So, you know, most of the other people on there are younger. So where are they getting so much information from? Did they channel this information? I like that word you use. That's why I'm highlighting it. Did they channel this information into their cipher that they're bringing to the community? No. Most of the people get on this program and says, my research. So right away, that tells me that's regurgitation. That's not yours. My book that I wrote, where did you get the information from the book that you wrote? Did you write the book right from the top of your head? Did you just write this?
Copy and paste.
You see?
You know? Yeah. And I'm not knocking nobody's product. If you creating a product, and you have a service, by all means, I'm not saying that you're not supposed to be supported. There's nothing wrong with the supporting of one who creates a product and packages it and markets and promotes it. If you want to buy that product, the same way that any one of us will walk out of our houses or our apartments on any given day, and if we go into a store front, or if we go anywhere where we see a product or service or item of clothing or a piece of food, and we feel that we want to break bread and get it, that's on you. I'm not saying anything against that, but like the brother was saying, reciprocity. We talk about the dollar circulating and things of that nature.
Right.
Or we talking about empowering our consortium. I would rather sell you a dozen shirts. You want to buy a shirt from me? Come and see me for the wholesale price. I'd rather get you a dozen shirts. You could wear as many shirts as you want and be able to sell the shirt to other brothers and sisters when they say, yo, that shit is hot. Where'd you get that from? Oh, all right, what size you need? I got that in the crib. You paid your wholesale price for it, and you get to sell it for your retail price. That's me empowering my consortium. So it's not about me at the end of the day. It's about the brand, getting the brand out there, getting an independent brand that you know it's not being created by some Caucasians in a sweatshop or some damn little children in Thailand and whatnot. These are products that are being created in either Harlem, whatever conscious hood there is in America, either Harlem, Brooklyn, or anywhere else where conscious people, Atlantis, this is where these items are being created by conscious people for conscious people. So it's not about making me rich so I could floss on you and pull up in the Maybach, you know what I mean, and pull the curtain back on you, you know what I'm saying, and try to take your girl from you or nothing. It's not about that. It's about us creating products or services. In the future, we're going to have young, conscious children, indigos, creating apps and creating technology and software. And as the parents and the members of the community, we're going to be buying stocks into their company. We're going to be buying shares into their company. We're going to own some of that intellectual property. So when these companies sell to Google or when they sell to any one of these billion-dollar corporations, when they may want to buy the app, or they may want to buy the software company, or they may want to buy what do they call that? The licensing. We benefit off of that. Right. Exactly. Yeah, we benefit off of that. Like how Mark Cuban got his money and other people by selling these companies for 15 million. 5 billion, whatever, how Instagram sold for 1 billion. What if that was a group of brothers behind that? Who came up with it? Look at Instagram. Take a picture on your phone. It's only exclusively for phones. They have built-in plugins, which are filters and things of that, where you can edit the picture, and they sold that for $1 billion. Did it take a genius to think of that? Is that something? No. Is that something that Einstein would have took a long time to figure out? You know, because we are the smartest.
And Instagram, right. And Instagram is not his intellectual property. It's the person's property who took the picture.
Exactly.
So he used exactly. That's all he did was create a forum. The same thing with this other company called Yext. That's YEXT. what they're doing is saying if you have a company or website, they will download your information to all of the social media and like Yellow Pages and all those different type of companies. But it gave me an idea. I don't need them. I can go to those companies individually. But they always want to do a profile on you to say that they can fix it. But, like the other day when I registered for them and I didn't go to the shopping cart, as soon as I hung up, my phone rang from a salesman from this company called Yes.
I'm posting the link.
Right. Our people can do the same thing. Those guys are not that clever. Only thing they're doing is finding out who you are, what type of product you got, and they're telling you that we will expose your product or services in all of these social media outlets. Anybody could do that. That's not a big deal. I didn't think it was that ingenious. I just thought maybe that they were real clever, like with how they did it and how they set it up. And I'm just throwing that out for food for thought because I'm sure there's some IT brothers that's out there that's listening that could take that particular energy and run with it because it's not that complex to do that. But anyway, on another light, I want to share. Do you think Red Pill that it's appropriate that I share the secret of sovereignty right now, or should I highlight a little bit more on the products?
Well, we do have to get into our guest tonight. I have it. It's pre-recorded, so I have it I have it queued up. So let's give them a brief product rundown, and then I'm gonna go into the interview. I would love for you to still be on the call when we bring Brother Delbert on for the Q&A.
Okay.
And if we do have enough time, you can follow up and finish up with the
I do have an announcement to make before we go into the pre-recorded session.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
This June 27th, family. Okay, June 27th in Los Angeles, California.
July 27th?
Yes, July.
Oh, so you got the DeLorean? We going back in time?
Nah, I ain't got the DeLorean. I got a DeLorean. July 27th. Okay? Because people been inboxing me, they like, it's July. Brother Mir changed the lexicon. You see, what's the definition of a game changer? Because that's another thing that people didn't point out. This entire campaign, the Magna Carta campaign, was waged, right, in a short tactical amount of time. And the entire market and promotion only dealt with the aesthetics of the campaign, people talking about the music, but never once was the music the topic because no one ever heard any music. This is a very first time that we witnessed something like this.
Right. Okay.
All right. 44 Resonator. Jigga Man, Jay-Z. Please, people, let's not treat this like it's not a Law 44 phenomenon. Coming out on 7/4, right? Dropping on July the 4th, which is denoting Sirius. Okay? That 3-star system. What was the last album called? It's called
his last album before this? Yeah. Right.
It's his last studio album. Now we recorded with Kanye, which that would have been called what?
That was,
what was the Kanye, and Jay-Z album that we just witnessed, right? Right? What was it?
Right.
Watch the Throne.
Yes.
Okay? Watch the Throne. So you see a W, which is a 44, okay? Because a W is just 2 V's. A V is 22. 2 V's are 44. Right. All right? So WTT, you got the Twin Towers, okay? You got Kanye West, King Yah of the West, right? And then you have Jay-Z or Jehovah. Okay, so you have a king and you have a god. You have the God in chief, and you have the king of the West. How do I identify and know this to be? Because I explained to you what Chicago and Ohio and that area represent, and the entire continental United States chakra system. This planet is a grid, right, held together by the morphogenetic grid. So somewhere like Ohio, where the Serpent Mound is at, okay? And we explained on Blueprint 322 how the serpent mound resonant energy is what was responsible for bringing in the reign of Draco, or mythologically the precession of the equinox, where it turns from the Polaris star system, which is called the northernest point, right? It's the North Star, the fifth of the North Star. So you're talking about a 5, all right? So when we went to the Kabbalah, when I was preparing the Blueprint 322 lecture in November, okay, I went and I started studying the gematria of these particular names. I was reading a book called Time in the Technosphere by, what was the brother's name? Can't believe I'm forgetting his brother's name.
Jose Arguelles.
Arguelles, yes, okay. Jose Arguelles. And he was talking about the 28-year period, separation of time, 1945 and 1973. You know what I'm saying? And then we understand, and that's when the Twin Towers was built on April 4th, which is 44, okay? And then we understand on August 8th or August 13th, as some recorded, hip-hop was inaugurated by the Twin Towers of Africa, Mabata, and Kool Herc, all right? And so we see this progression in time take place. We see in Japan, they dropped twin bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We know that one of them meant fat man, the other meant little boy. You know what I'm saying? We know the Nagasaki is the serpent. We know that Hiroshima is the Haru, okay? So we know what that energy is dealing with. We also know that that was the archetype set in place for the dropping of the Twin Towers in hip-hop, right? Biggie Smalls, fat boy, right? Fat man, whatever, fat man. And Tupac Shakur, all right? The little one. So the Naga, right? You got the snake, you got the serpent, you got the fact that you got Tupac Amaru Shakur. So there goes the tie-in right there. You know what I'm saying? Biggie Small is Christopher. He's Christopher Wallace. What did Jay-Z say in his music? We don't worship no Christopher Columbus, but we understand Christopher Wallace is a god. He died the king of New York. 44 Resonator. That's a title. These people have their own geometric and gematria resonance. So his number is 108, which means Bonum, the builder. Okay? He's the builder. He is the mason, the architect of this reality. It was all a dream, and everyone is living in it. Okay? So he passed the torch to Jay-Z. Jay-Z ignited and turned on Obama. Do you understand the connection between a musician and a politician? The people cast their vote when they buy CDs. All right? Look at the field of politics. You could be hot one minute and cold the next, but also in the field of entertainment. But you're looking at somebody for 12 consecutive records and many side projects in between was able to express to you the extension of a dream that was started by Christopher Wallace. Until he reached the Billy, okay? And we talking about someone who says that they're now the Hova, the God MC. Do you know what hip-hop is to be the god of it? It's a divination system. Hip-hop is what Polaris equals in gematria. Hip-hop was started in the northernmost point of New York City, which is the Bronx. Nothing ever extended past the Bronx. You understand? In terms of the throne of hip-hop. Everyone that has been the king of hip-hop, or the king of New York for that matter, has never extended past the northernmost point of the Bronx. The highest point, until Drake came. Because Drake represented the shifting from the Polaris star system, which is the little bear, Kanye. Because Kanye defeated, right? He defeated 50 Cent, who represented the gorilla, the silverback. But the bear beat him, right? He won the paradigm, the hearts and the minds. Which bloodline will continue, the thug knuckle draggers or these niggas that wear polos, pink polos and rock knapsacks and shit like that? What are the creative, crystal children, right? And the indigos that people have cast aside and they reject because at first their jeans weren't baggy enough. Now you're telling them their jeans are too tight.
Wow.
So they said, we're going to create a world of our own where we hold one another up and we have our own language, our own customs, and we do our own shit that